Bitcoin is dumping, and I hate to say this, but this is exactly what I predicted. And to be very honest, I think this dump is gonna go a little bit deeper, and on today's update video, I'm gonna be exactly break down what my price targets are for this Bitcoin correction, what are the levels I am going to be scaling very heavily in towards Bitcoin, what are the altcoins I am going to be buying right now. I'm going to be all talk about this on today's update video. I'm going to be giving an update on Ethereum, where my orders are set up, and so much more. So don't forget to once again slap that like button back above 1,000 likes, and let me jump straight away in today's update video. So first of all, I've been calling this correction for a very long time here. First, I predicted this slight bounce towards the upside. Then I basically expected that this continuation towards the downside was going to continue. And in my opinion, it is not the right time yet to be scaling in towards the trades. Because to be very honest, I've been experiencing many of these major flash crashes on Bitcoin, like we saw over here on this big dump, all the way down towards $102,000. And like most of the times we are seeing these massive corrections, we see a prolonged period of more fear. We see a prolonged period of more uncertainty in the market. And most of the times we tend to fill up this wick here. And in my opinion, of course, since I opened up a copy trading account and people can right now copy trade my exact trades, and of course I'm sharing my trades also on YouTube, I've shared this exact setup for a very long time right now here. And all I am doing right here is just set up my trades and be very patient. Because in my opinion, the best way to trade Bitcoin is to just wait for the best opportunity. And maybe we're not going to get filled up here because we are just going to be slightly missing out on the Bitcoin bottom. But that is okay, because that shows once again that we at least have been very close towards catching the exact bottom. And that is of course also the strategy which I'm trying to do right now here. So I've set up these orders on the lower side. I've already shared my setup, my reasoning about it on the VIP Telegram group. So don't forget to join the VIP Telegram by using the second link in today's video description. But I've basically shared it already many times before here. But basically what I'm predicting is that Bitcoin is going to come back towards this very important level of horizontal support. I mean, we broke the upper sloping support line already. And now I think the $98,000, that is going to be the sweet spot where Bitcoin is most likely going to be bouncing from. Also, if we're looking at the 50 weekly moving average or at the 54 simple moving average, we can see that basically those two levels are, in my opinion, the sweet spot where Bitcoin is most likely going to be bouncing from, and where basically I am expecting a very good bounce could be coming from. So yes, those are the levels where I'm currently willing to scale in very heavily towards the positions. And I hate to break the news here, but in my opinion, there's not enough fear yet here, because what you want to be seeing for a confirmed bottom is basically a prolonged period of negative funding on the lower time frames, on the higher time frames, and you want to see strength in the market. And that is exactly what we have not seen so far here. So of course, whenever I'm going to be seeing the bottom is going to get formed, maybe I will be adjusting my orders, maybe I will be adjusting my strategy. But of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on that. But as of for now, I don't see a clear bottoming structure. So this is of course also something I will keep you guys up to date on, not only on the channel, but also on the VIP Telegram group. And of course, we have these orders set up here. I think it's going to be a very, very great time to be scaling in towards Bitcoin and altcoins from of $102,000 on Bitcoin. So that is what I will be doing. And of course, if you want to be joining me with this trade here, don't forget to first of all sign up an account to WeX, because by signing up an account using that first link in today's video description, guys, you will get a 25% fee rebate. And also they're giving away a $30,000 deposit bonus on WeX right now here. So make sure to check it out in the first link of today's video description. But like you can see, if you sign up an account using that first link below, you will be getting literally a very good deal, because you will have very cheap fees to operate from. So make sure to check it out in the first link of today's video description. Further on, I want to be, of course, give you some more reasoning why I think the $102,000 level is going to be a very good level to scale in here. Because historically, if we're looking at the Fibonacci, these are the levels you should be looking at. And it's not only for Bitcoin, it is also for ETH. And I'm going to go in towards that a little bit later in this video. But basically, the $102,000 level, the 1.618, is that 102K level where I want to be scaling in. And for Ethereum, where I want to be scaling in here in towards my leverage long positions is the 0.618 and the 0.65. And that is, of course, also once again based on the Fibonacci levels. And this is just a level, guys. I'm not just making this up today. I've been talking about this level for weeks now. And I mean, if you've been following the channel, congratulations, you're absolutely printing. But this is a level I've talked about for weeks. Just go to the channel, check a video from 3 weeks ago, look at the segment where I'm talking about ETH. I've always talked about this level right here. This is the best opportunity in the market. And that is why also right now for my Ethereum trades, I have set up big orders on Ethereum from 3,400 to about 3,300 US dollars. So that is where I think the risk to reward is going to be just absolutely perfect for Ethereum. So that is where I will be scaling in towards my Ethereum trade. Of course, if I'm just looking at Ethereum, I don't think the top is going to be in here, to be very honest. I still think it's going to be running higher, especially if I am looking at the weekly time frame. What we're seeing right now is, of course, a rejection from the all-time high, but just a reaccumulation. And whenever we're going to come back towards this level, I think a V-shaped recovery could very much happen for ETH here. So yes, we're going to see on how it's going to be playing out here. I'm very much aware that Bitcoin, in terms of where we're currently sitting in part of the cycle, we are very, very close towards the end of the bull market. I've talked about it many, many times here. Maybe the bull market top is already in here, but what I will be doing with my trade is at least catch this slight little relief bounce towards the upside, because that is also what you see at the end of the bull market phase, a slight little relief bounce, and then the bear market starts, right? A lower high structure, then the bear market starts here. So I do think we're going to get at least we're going to get a bounce, and if it's going to be a lower high, it's going to be the starting phase of a big, big correction. But at least what I'm going to be trying to do is catch that bounce towards the upside. So that is the entire strategy I currently have in mind for Bitcoin. This is my entire strategy I have in mind for Ethereum. If I'm looking at the charts, if we're going to compare it towards gold, I mean, historically, this is clearly indicating we're going to get a very good period in the market. I mean, historically, whenever gold goes exponential, Bitcoin tends to be bottoming as well here. So that is very interesting. And of course, we do know that later this year, quantitative easing is going to start again here, which means that the money printer from the Fed is going to get turned on here. And that historically marks the bottom for Bitcoin. So that is, of course, also a very great thing here to be seeing. So I'm going to keep you guys up to date here. I don't think the best risk to reward is yet here for Bitcoin. Many people have been very bullish on this bounce already towards the upside on Bitcoin. I've been warning you all along about this exact setup. I think Bitcoin is going to be dumped a little bit lower. And of course, then we're going to be scaling in here. And of course, if I see something emerge in the market, I will give you guys an update on the VIP Telegram group here. But anyways, this was it for me in today's update video. Subscribe to the channel, slap on that like button, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.